ENRD 401 Essay Outline How-To. Please make sure that you have made this video full screen so that you can follow along. You may also want to pull up the essay outline template. An essay outline is a document that lays out each part of an essay in order. It's the recipe for an effective essay. A good outline guides your rough draft and keeps your writing on topic. So it's like a roadmap, letting you know where you're supposed to go next as you write your rough draft. It also makes your rough draft writing easier, and a detailed outline makes the best essays. Before you start, make sure you have submitted your rough introduction and received the graded feedback. That feedback is very important as you make changes and improvements to your introduction. Also, you want to make sure that you have read and taken notes on the body paragraphs PowerPoint that's available in the previous folder. This PowerPoint helps you understand the different types of sentences that should be in your body paragraphs and how those sentences function within the body of your essay. So here's the essay outline template, and I have already filled it out for you to give you a sample. And so this one is on the effects of video game addiction. That's the topic for this particular essay outline. In the directions, of course, it tells you to be as detailed as possible, and it tells you what PowerPoints to reference if you get confused. So in our introduction, just like you did in your rough introduction, you're to use one of the 4 methods of introduction. For this introduction, I am using the go from the broad to the specific. And so my first sentence is very general. In 2018, the video game industry made over $120 billion. That's just talking about gaming and video games in general. So then my second sentence gets a little bit more specific and talks about what's projected to be made in the year 2022. So then the third sentence, continuing with being specific, talks about how adults and children play video games every day while at school just to pass the time. And then, being extremely specific, we go to how easy it is to access video games, and because it's so easy to access them, it leads to an increase in video game addiction. So now we've gotten to the actual topic. So if you notice, I've gone from the broad, just talking about video game industry, and getting very specific into video game addiction. So then my fifth sentence defines what the addiction is, and then I jump straight into my thesis statement, which is that many people have an addiction to playing video games and can have some negative effects. My 3 are isolation, career disruption, and decline of health. So moving on to my first body paragraph is my first topic sentence, and I'm going to follow my thesis and actually talk about isolation. So then in my supporting sentences, I'm going to talk about video game players hiding in their homes and not coming out, and how they're hiding in their homes and staying and not really coming out for anything actually can lead to a breakdown in how they communicate and their communication skills. My concluding sentence, which starts with the transition of as a result, is going to sum it up by saying that they are using the games to interact as if they're interacting with real people. So your second body paragraph and third body paragraph do the exact same thing. They simply follow the format of your thesis and the format of that first one with a different topic. However, please note that on the topic sentence of body paragraph 2 and 3, I've used transition words such as another and in addition. And so then the supporting sentences again do the same thing. It gives you a little bit more specific information. And then explanatory sentences may give you examples or more elaboration on exactly what you're talking about. The concluding sentences also will begin with a transition word such as in short or as a result. Remember, transition words were listed in our book and we went over them quite thoroughly. So now when we get to our conclusion, we start with an concluding word such as overall, and we just rehash the thesis. So you see my concluding sentence says, overall, the depth of isolation, disruption of career path and decline is unique to each addicted player. So basically, I've told you these are the three things I'm talking about. And then I summarize it by saying all three of those can lead to the unhappiness of both the player in their professional and personal life. And then my drawing to a close actually speaks on how it should be a balance between the video game playing and their personal and social responsibilities. Again, this outline template is available in this folder so that you can go and read it in depth, the one that's already filled out. Please make sure that as you are doing your outline template that you do have out all of the necessary items, and of course if you have any questions feel free to contact me.